Welcome to Trauma in Our Veins, where we unpack the chaos of being human, from parenting, mental health, trauma, and everything in between. I'm Maggie.
I'm Erica. Our ground rules are simple. This is a safe space, so be kind. Respect differing opinions. Maggie and I use she, her pronouns for ourselves, and we speak from experience, not misinformation.
Gotta get out our weird before we get into the heavy shit.
Oh, we're gonna need all the weird we can get.
Yes.
Alrighty, so let's head into it. Hello, lovely listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Trauma in Our Veins. Hey.
Hey.
We've discussed that we need to add as much silly and weirdness to this episode as possible because we have a very, very heavy topic today. Obviously, everyone is aware, or I shouldn't say that. People should be aware by this point that we are now at war with Iran. And it's been a long 6 days. 4 days, 5 days. How many days has it been?
It started
Saturday, and it is Thursday.
So, too long.
Too long.
It's definitely, it was so surreal waking up Saturday morning to that news that while we were all sleeping, they decided, yeah, let's start a war. And it just keeps escalating every day.
Mm-hmm.
But before we really get into any of this, I want to take a moment to recognize and talk about the soldiers we have lost since this war has begun. Because it's just unfair. But also, one of the lives taken was someone my husband knew personally. He served with him, and it was his friend. We found out on Monday about it. Yeah, or Monday, I think it was Monday afternoon. Yeah. And it's been all over the news. They released 4 of the names so far, and I think they're releasing more. They have to wait until 48 hours after the family has been notified before the media can report on it. So it is now everywhere, but it should not have happened. And the situation that of the person we know, there was no warnings or sirens that went off. These soldiers had no idea that the missile was coming. And they were in a makeshift military base in Kuwait. So they also didn't have the resources to defend themselves. Like it was you can look up the details, but it was like a makeshift trailer. And so they're claiming a missile should not have penetrated the walls, but based on other experts we've heard from, they have said that the makeshift walls definitely would not protect anyone from a missile. So as of now, we know 6 lives have been lost, and that number is expected to increase each day, really. So I just wanted to take a minute to honor these soldiers and send my condolences to their friends and family. And I have no idea if they'll ever hear this, but I still want to take that time.
Just deep breaths.
Yes. Yeah, as many as you can get. So, yeah, this is
the most
intense.
like insane part to me of this is Trump's reaction to it and like his little video thing that I'm sure so many people have now seen because there's Lord Farquaad memes all over the internet, but it's just how can you be so insensitive to what you're doing? But then again, look who we're talking about.
Right. Yeah. And it's also, not only is he super insensitive and clearly just doesn't care if our military goes in and dies for him, um, he's also saying these wild claims that our military can sustain this war forever. Like, that is the craziest shit ever. Like, to say that as a president, like, I cannot.
And how are you gonna say that and at the same time say that you can't afford Medicaid and Medicare and food stamps for your people, but you can afford to sustain a war forever? Oh, right, because war is like the number one profit in the world.
Yeah.
But guess who gets those profits? The warmongers, like, not us.
Yeah,
And we
definitely not.
wouldn't want them. We don't want those profits.
Yeah. At least
Like,
the majority of us don't.
yeah, and I cannot tell you how many I I had to get off of TikTok for a while because literally it's just one after another, after another, after another of American citizens being like, "Guys, we want no part of this. Like, this is not we have no choice. This is not our doing." We like I saw so many, it was crazy. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty wild, and yeah, for the most part, I haven't really seen a ton of people being, like, pro-war, although actually,
Mhm.
take that back. I went on Facebook, I think it was, like, yesterday or the day before, and I don't really go on there much, but as soon as I did, I saw a post, and unfortunately, it was someone in my family, but they were, like, praising the fact that we killed Iran's leader, and, they were going on about how good that will be for their people, and
Right, the supreme leader who's, like, in his in
literally.
it wa he's, like, 87, wasn't he? And
Yeah,
was, like,
he
old and decrepit and, like, not doing shit? I don't know that for a fact. I have not looked into what he was doing because I am so wrapped up in what ours is excuse me, in what ours is doing.
yeah, which
So,
there's a
like
lot of irony there because Trump told the Iranian people to take over their government
Mhm,
and to overthrow it, and
mhm,
he promised them that he would take out their leader, which we're hearing on
mhm.
both ends of the world that that's what happened. But what they're not talking about is the hundreds and hundreds of innocent lives taken,
Yeah.
including 100 schoolgirls.
Latest count that I saw was 165. It was 165 people, including we unknown number of them were students. I believe there were also some teachers. And I mean 165 is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
just gonna
and
keep becoming it's just gonna keep increasing because that's just how it works in this
yeah.
business of war.
And the thing is, like, we've all lived through a war, at some point, like
Yeah.
Iraq, Afghanistan, and then for anyone that's older than us, like, they've also seen, like, the Gulf War, the Cold War, I could go on. But
Yeah.
if we look at history and, like, the reasons for war and the reasons why the US intervenes,
Mhm.
a lot of the times it's for
Which,
fucking oil.
let's be clear, the US did not intervene. Congress did not approve this. This was an illegal attack. And oh, they keep on saying it was preemptive defense. Preemptive defense is offense.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're doing. Own your shit. Like, oh my God, as if. Because give this, yeah, it's oil and it's a distraction and it's ridiculous. It's just, what else do you call it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's so obvious.
and it's
Oh,
the things, everything that he is presenting about this and about in his State of the Union address, all of it. I mean, people are actively fact checking him as he's saying these things. And it's like,
right.
he's talking about the reason was that we had to strike because they had nuclear whatever that was gonna just already threatening our European allies, which by the way, didn't Trump leave the UN? No, he left the WHO. He left the WHO. That's what it was. Um, but like I'm pretty sure he's insulted them several times. And I'm literally like in the process of losing my mind over all of this shit right now. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, and the thing is, and anyone can look this up, like this information's
Yeah.
out there that uh we had intelligence last year and even prior to that that Iran did have the capabilities of building nuclear weapons, but that they haven't started it yet. And even if they were to start it, they were saying it wouldn't be done until 2035. I mean, that's 10 years from now. So, and on top of that, if you all remember in 2025, shortly after Trump came in office, he also attacked Iran and they claimed that they took out their facilities where they were
Mhm.
building nuke weapons. So now so now are they admitting that they never actually did that and that was just bullshit? And
Yeah.
because if it wasn't bullshit, why would we be at war with them again? Like,
Yeah.
it just, nothing adds up. The lies just keep piling and piling on.
Yeah.
And though Congress didn't approve it, which again, that makes it illegal, unfortunately, the Senate voted last night and they are not, or they basically voted to not stop it from happening. And that was really disappointing because I thought the majority on
Yeah.
both
That is.
sides of the ticket were against what was happening. So clearly, there's a lot of people that are benefiting off of this war because
Yeah.
why else would they be okay with it?
Yeah, and not for nothing, like going back to the strike at the girls' school, like that you can't take back that that was an illegal attack regardless of whether uh Senate decides to have its head up its own ass and be like, well, what are we going to do about it now? Which is also the whole problem with everything about Trump's regime is that everybody keeps saying, well, what are we going to do about it now? But going back to the school, they claimed that they were aiming for something else and that it was an accident that they hit this school. But I just can't help but bring back a little taste of our previous couple of episodes about the sexism, because I struggle to believe that with how much our military brags about its fantastic precision and all of its intel and all of its this and all of its that, I don't I I find it hard to reconcile it as a coincidence that it was a girls' school that got hit. Because that's basically you just put a huge dent in that country's ability, in that people's ability to carry on. Like I'm not sure of the size of Iran. I don't know the size of Iran, but like why a girls' school? Why
Mhm.
specifically a girls' school? And
Yeah.
but you can like pluck an ace at 5 million yards, but you hit a girls' school. All I'm saying.
Yeah.
And for the record, the UN, there was a rumor circulating that that the UN had labeled Trump a war criminal. It is not true, unfortunately. However, UNESCO did call the primary school bombing a grave violation of humanitarian law. So, technically,
Mhm.
you violated humanitarian law, which means you are a criminal to that law. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's just crazy to me. And the thing is like I saw something the other day that made me think about it. Like if the reverse would have happened, if
Mhm.
one of our schools would have got bombed like that.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
imagine the retaliation
Oh my God.
and just the
Yep.
outrage. And so it's like, how
And
can
it
we
would
not
not,
empathize?
sorry, go ahead.
Just like how can we not empathize with that? Like
Yeah.
it's sad.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you guarantee that the wording around the whole situation would change because there's no way that that is a preemptive defense. It would be called a terrorist attack.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
every not for nothing, everything is called a terrorist attack lately, but
right.
it's just crazy. It's crazy. And then it's 2026. This was so not on my bingo card that I would be scrolling through TikTok watching airstrikes and watching Ryan Kelly give a quick breakdown of what kind of attacks we should be looking for on home soil, and it's just like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, the sleeper cell agents, that kind of
Mhm.
situation. Yeah. I was hearing about that too and from an expert on terrorism and I'm just like,
Yeah,
"Oh, great. Okay."
for the record,
And
Ryan Kelly is a good resource, and he has a master's degree in Homeland Security, and he has a funny face taped onto his master's degree in Homeland Security.
yes, yes, he does.
He's got little fuzzy eyebrows on it, it's so cute. Uh,
He's great.
he
He's a
is.
great resource. I really so now we're seeing, retaliation from Iran and they're going after US embassies, they're going after US military bases and they even hit Cyprus, which is a island that is actually governed by Great Britain and because they and it was an accidental hit again because a lot of the missiles that Iran is using, I guess, aren't very accurate either.
Mhm.
And so now that they hit somewhere that's governed by Great Britain, that now can enact Article 5 of NATO. So that's why there is, a lot of talk about World War III.
Yeah. So, as far as I'm aware, there are now oh gosh, I wrote it down. I wanna say there's 6 countries involved now. Okay, let's see. So this is from what is the article? I can't get it. Oh, USA Today. Multiple European countries are joining the fray, including the UK, France, Germany, and Greece. And yeah, you're absolutely right by the attack on the British Air Force Base in Cyprus. The UK, France, and Greece pledged to deploy forces following the attack, including anti-missile and anti-drone systems, as well as air defenses and warships. So it's now we've got US, Iran, Israel, Russia, UK, France, Germany, Greece, and I don't have a source for this, but as we were scrolling, Tim told me that Spain had also agreed to join.
Yeah, I could see that.
So it's, I mean, how is that not World War III?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Now it's so many people involved who are supposed to be our allies. And
Right.
it's really hard to not look at this and be like, hmm, so we're on the side with Israel and Russia potentially. I Yeah, that was not on my bingo card.
No, definitely not. Definitely
I
not.
mean,
I had to we had to
not this
explain.
soon.
Well, actually, no, we didn't have to explain to Tim's dad what a dirty bomb is, but we had to have a talk about it.
Mm,
And it's like, "Why? Ah!" I'm like, "How do you not just scream?" Oh, I am ready to go hide on a mountaintop far away and befriend the Wendigos and make them my allies because fuck people.
right?
I can't. I
I
say that.
and
There's so many good people though.
I know. And it's hard because we've been tossing around the idea of like, but I feel like it's more of the like what if situation. But we
Mhm.
were talking about, oh, where could we move to? Like, and we were looking up countries that had the easiest like citizenship process, and uh, Canada was on that list. So we were talking about that, and then we were talking about Spain too. But then I was like, shit. I mean, Europe isn't gonna be
Yeah,
safe either. Like,
Europe ain't it right
uh,
now.
oh, and neither are we. So really, at this point, which
Yeah,
this
right.
could change,
Alright, so
Canada
space.
seems.
Space. Canada, yeah. Canada's gonna get overrun, and they're gonna learn to be mean real quick.
Yeah, I think
By the
I
way,
haven't seen anything um from Canada about this, but granted, like my algorithm's probably just really fucked up.
right.
But I haven't seen any like statements being made by Canada yet, but I'm sure they're pissed.
Oh, I'm sure. And for the record, just so our listeners know, some of you might already, but Canadians are not as nice as you think they are. They are polite.
Hmm.
And so, they'll
There's
still
a
fuck up your
difference.
day. They will fuck up your day if you are asking for it, they will fuck up your day.
You will
In
get a taste
with the
of it.
sweetest smile on their face. If they
Yeah, you'll get a taste of it at the border, like when you're trying to cross over. The border agents are
functional.
no joke. They grill you, and let me tell you, none of them smile.
Ooh,
uh, it's scary, but
our people-pleasing selves would perish.
it, we went through it last year in May, and because we went to a concert in Detroit, and there's a you can cross the border right by Detroit, and so we did that and stayed in Canada, and like
Nice.
they looked at us like we were insane. They were like, "Why wouldn't you just stay in Detroit?" And we were like, "Because Canada." And and they
And
just looked at us like we were nuts. They were just like,
I
"But
would
why?"
I literally would have just been like, "'Cause Timmy Hose." Oh, I
We were
miss
like
Tim Hortons.
we were just like, "Well, we figured because it's right there, why not?" And I'm telling you, he did not like any of our answers.
Oh, no.
And
Oh, he
he
would have
didn't
hated
he
me.
didn't make us pull over or anything, but after that experience, I was looking up on Reddit because I'm like, is this really how it is? Like, wow, the attitude. And so I looked it up, and apparently they hate visitors, but if you are planning to move there, they'll be nicer. So I
I
thought that was kind of
mean
interesting.
I mean, look at the neighbors who are coming and knocking, let's be real. I kinda
and
get it. I've lived
and
in some
also,
sketchy places, and
mhm,
you don't like your neighbors knocking on your door, you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, and like when we went in May last year, that's right around the time when Trump was doing his tariff dance with Canada and,
Mm.
everywhere else too, but Canada specifically. And so when we went over there, like we literally were like apologizing to Canadians, and because they would say, "Oh, you're from America?" And we're like, "Yeah." And and they would be like, how you doing? Like, you doing okay?" And we're like, no." And then we're like, "I'm so sorry, we didn't vote for this psycho." And they were like, "Oh, okay." We were a bit concerned.
Oh,
Like,
no.
and we're just like, "Oh, I swear to God, we don't want any of this." And so then we were talking about how it's affecting them too, and they said,
Mhm.
"Yeah, our cost of living has skyrocketed since Trump came in office."
Right.
And
Ours
so
too,
there's
hey.
right? And that yeah, we were bonding over, trauma and, like, cost of living. Um, so but it was really interesting to get the Canadian perspective of things and talk about their politics as well, and then, of course, talking about healthcare. Oh my god, it hurt to talk about the healthcare because they have
Yeah.
universal, and so they were like so on one hand, they were saying universal's great because they don't have to pay for it up the ass like we do. But
Right.
the one struggle they have is the wait times. So if you
Mm.
do have more of like serious illnesses or like surgeries that you need, there sometimes is a delay with that. Otherwise, they said everything else is great. Like if you need antibiotics or if you need just like a quick checkup or like shit like that, like it's free. And
Mm.
I
Or
I'm
in
like
our case, they have universal health care and we have a new
garbage.
war that we're paying for. Again,
Yeah,
for Mr. I need to get the Nobel Peace Prize because oh my god, I just reminded myself of a TikTok that someone in Greenland posted saying, "You know what? Trump does deserve the Nobel Peace Prize because he created peace between Denmark and Greenland."
oh my
But
god, that's
seriously,
hilarious.
like, I hate the argument about, you want universal healthcare, you're gonna have to pay for it. Yeah, I know. I already pay for it, and so I would rather that money go towards making it accessible and available. So, shut up and stop saying it's about money when we can afford to just drop bombs anywhere in the world at the drop of a hat.
Yeah,
Like, it's insane the mental gymnastics that some people will go through to justify their side or whatever when it's like, "Can we please get rid of the sides?" This is what we've been saying. We need to get rid of the sides. We need to have these open and honest conversations about what universal healthcare or what, uh, better education system or what cleaner streets or whatever really look like instead of just acting and saying we're right because we want the right thing. Like, that's not how life works.
right,
So, it doesn't just this Trump fever of just saying it makes it true, because saying that, well, we had to strike because Iran was 2 weeks or whatever away from being able to reach American soil, like, multiple veterans have come out on social media saying that, they've been saying that for 10 years. That's exactly
mhm,
what they said in the '90s even, I feel like. Because I
yeah,
remember these conversations when 9/11 happened and when all this other stuff happened. Nobody thought we were listening because we were kids, and maybe I don't have a perfect memory of it all, but this is just eerily familiar, and I'm just being transported back to watching the president address the nation on this tiny little box TV with antenna on our kitchen counter because we didn't have cable. And, like, it's the same lines, it feels like. Like you said, it's about the oil. It it's like they'll say it's an attack, but then they'll say that, that it's we a regime change, right? Because that's a new popular thing that we have to apparently control for other countries in the world, which
all of a
I'm
sudden,
pretty
yeah,
sure they don't want us to. Like, Iran did want to overthrow their supreme leader. I totally respect that. I'm pretty sure they didn't want their school to get bombed. I'm confident
yeah,
in speaking for them on behalf of that. So, like, all these lines keep coming over and over and over again, but then now we have internet and we have fact checking and we have questions.
Yeah.
And somehow we're the problem for having questions when it's like, okay, but why didn't anyone else ever ask these questions? Oh, well, you can't believe everything you see on TikTok. Of course you can't. But how do you get around it when it is all you see?
Yeah.
This is
Exactly.
not all of this is not nothing. Like, ah,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
damn tinfoil hat getting me in trouble again.
I've had a few people tell me that I need to limit my news intake more, and I'm like, yeah, I would love to, except our world's on fire and
Mhm.
I can't look away. I can't. And
Oh,
obviously I have boundaries in place. It's not like I'm just looking at it all day long every day, but like when we have daily and weekly major updates,
mhm.
I need to know because there are lives at risk, literally. And
And
now,
our president doesn't care.
yeah, he
Let me
really,
be very clear. He does not care. 'Cause
yeah.
look at his video. He literally was like, "Well, we'll lose soldiers. That often happens in war." No shit, Sherlock. Be more cavalier about it.
But my thing is, you could have negotiated more, you
Mhm.
dumb fuck. Like, why you just went straight to, nope, we're gonna take them out. And also, like, after we just did that to Venezuela, like,
Mhm.
you're
And
telling
on
me this
top of
isn't
it
about oil?
we had a nuclear treaty with Iran. Trump broke it. He I don't remember exactly what he did to it, but he got rid of it. In 2018,
Well,
in his first presidency, it was, oh gosh, what was the name of
yeah, because
it? The
I think
Joint
Obama
Comp
started it,
I'm not sure who
the
started
treaty.
it, but it was President Trump announced the US would pull out of the 2015 agreement, so who that would have been Obama.
Yeah.
Um, calling it a horrible one-sided deal that failed to protect American security. So instead, we're gonna start a war because that's a great way to protect American security. Like,
Which I don't know if you remember when Obama was president, Trump made a public statement calling him an idiot for starting a war with Iran and said
mhm,
all this stuff, except he's literally doing the same thing right now.
without
And so
permission.
yeah, exactly, without permission. That's the key thing. But that video has been going around because it resurfaced and it's like, dude, everything you have bitched about previous presidents, including Biden, you are literally doing the same, if not worse.
Mhm.
So shut the hell up. Like, I'm just so sick of his face.
Yeah, and he's willing to do these things and then to hell with the consequences because now the US Embassy is telling American citizens who are stuck in the Middle East while bombs are falling, they're telling them the US Embassy is not in a position at this time to evacuate or directly assist Americans in departing Israel. That is a direct quote from the Jerusalem US Embassy.gov website.
Yeah,
They don't care about you,
any of us.
any of
And
us.
if if you're not familiar, which I will say it's in movies and TV shows, they've had a lot of this like scenario play out with like, the threat of nuclear war and all that. And
Mhm.
so even in the West Wing, we actually recently just started watching it and like within the first few episodes of the show, they show this part where they give each of the top politicians, so like president, vice president, uh, uh, and like I can't even think, but all their cabinet members, like the top
Mhm.
ones,
Yeah.
they are given this card that has the info of what they are to do if a nuclear war happens. And basically, the information on it is that they get to go on a anti-nuclear, like, defended, airplane to get away, or they go down in a bunker and they're safe. But guess what?
Mm.
Their staff does not get to come with them, and no other
Jesus.
citizens. So, like, and that's legit. So, like, if this shit were to go down and it comes to the US, like bombs and all that stuff, guess what? Our president, he's gonna be safe because
Mhm.
he's gonna get to go on the plane that protects him from literally every threat.
Oh my
And
god. Not
it'll just be him and probably JD Vance and maybe like a few other people, and that's it.
not to make light of a very serious situation, but a little to make light of a very serious situation. Um, what's gonna happen if all those guys go down in the bunker, everybody dies, they come back up, they're not gonna know literally, Trump will not know how to wipe his own ass.
I mean, he's probably gonna bring his diaper changer with him, let's be
Right.
real.
But seriously, like, the staff holds all of the cards. The leaders, they
I
don't
didn't do shit.
I've worked in several varying fields, and what I can tell you with confidence is that the people at the top rarely know what is going on. Like, rarely. And
And
certainly don't
he
know how to control it on their own.
this exactly, and this came up in West Wing. So, one of the main guys, I can't think of his name at the moment, but one of the main guys, and wanna say he has like, he's the Speaker of House or whatever, so kinda like Mike Johnson's role.
Hmm,
I wanna say that's his role, but anyways, he was given the card, and he literally was just a mess. He was crying, he was upset, he felt guilty, he had
mm,
survivor's guilt. He literally had to go to therapy to process it because he was told to not tell his staff about it.
oof,
And later that night, he felt so guilty that he told his main, like, staff person, and she was the speaker or, like, press secretary.
mhm.
And he told her, and he was just like, "I'm so sorry." And she literally gave him the most serious look and said, "Well, of course they don't wanna save us. They won't need after something like that happens, why would they need a press secretary? There's not gonna be much press to talk about." Uh, and then she also said, "And why would they need the writers? There won't be anything to write about." And
There won't
just
be
like
anyone
that
to write to.
yes, and, like, just
Ugh.
that moment, like, just hit, and it was like, "Holy
Yeah.
shit." Like,
So
ah,
so what's so stupid is that your mind goes to this, like, super serious, like, West Wing episode and, super morose moment. My brain goes to Futurama. They're trying to escape the end of the world, and they put their hand in a little box, and it says, "Accepted."
yeah.
That's that's where my brain goes, so, you gotta laugh or else you'll cry. Ugh.
I mean, if it helps, like, the other night we were talking, and David and I was like, I really wish some aliens would show up right now, and I
Oh
would
my god.
literally beg them to take me with them." And
Seriously, like, there are volunteers now, people,
yeah.
like, alien overlords listening because you're probably our only audience. That's not true. But who knows? Because you saw in Futurama, it takes a while for, our stuff to get to them, so it might take them a couple months to get to us, but they'll hear. So there's volunteers down here now. Probe
Yeah.
us all you want.
Like,
Millennials are
"Hey"
freaky.
just take us, okay? Like,
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
not even scared of it anymore.
Oh my word,
That's
seriously. And then, like, the fact this I still can't get over the whole announcement of aliens being real, and we're all like, "Yeah, big fucking deal. How do
we know,
I need food and toilet paper."
right? Like, we're not concerned about that. Like, we're concerned about surviving right now, and
Mhm.
you're confirming what we've already known this whole time.
And millennials have begun the unserious stream of consciousness that is now trailing down into Gen Z and Gen A, only we have trauma and they don't. Yet. Yet.
Yes.
But we'll work on it. We'll get them in the club. But
I mean,
but
I feel like
seriously,
anyone living right now is
that's
just
so
not.
accurate. Oh my god. I keep on I really do need to get off of TikTok or reset my algorithm or something because I keep on getting millennials talking about how many life-changing, once in a lifetime events we've lived through and we're not even 40, and it's just like, this is exhausting. Why are we talking about this? You
Yeah,
make me
and
feel so old. I'm not even 35 yet. I will be in 2 weeks.
yay.
Hey.
But it just goes to show, like, yeah, we have gone through so much before 40, and it's like, why do you think there's such an epidemic in mental health and
Mhm.
with anxiety and depression? And why is there such an increase in autoimmune diseases and chronic illnesses? It's like, because our entire lives, I mean, pretty much since 9/11 has been just, you know, a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah. Seriously. And then we are expected to just take it in stride, and even though we get new assaults on our conceptualization of the world every day from millions of people across the internet, like, but we're expected to carry on and be perfect little step 40-ians who uh, just accept the system, even though the system is screwing all of us. And it's just
Yeah.
like, I get I get the hesitation to let go of what has been for so long. I understand that. But remember when I had a shitty boyfriend and people kept telling me that he wasn't going to change and that I needed to leave him? Yeah. Hello, kettle. This is pot. You're black. Hi. Me too. Like, it's seriously,
Yeah.
it's just, it's wild. It's wild that I think we even talked about this a couple weeks ago that you can't take the math from this part and put it onto this part. The principle applies. Like, the what we need to start focusing on is how we do it in the best way possible. We have to make sure that we are paying attention first and foremost. We have to make sure that we are participating in the elections and in uh even leading up to elections, in just communication in general. We have to take these steps before we tear it all down, and then we'll be fine. We'll be alright.
Yeah, at least hopefully better than where we're at, that's, like, the biggest
Oh,
hope right
I
now. It's just any
when
improvement is an improvement.
accurate. When Gen Z gets to government, it's gonna be great. The
Yeah, I
millennials are already there, okay? We've got a couple. We got a couple.
yeah,
And
some
listen,
of my babies.
Mom
Mm,
Donnie's a hottie.
mm, he knows it, like,
He
everyone,
does, that smile. But
even Trump is in love with him. Can we just please
yes, that
know?
was so funny. That was
Literally had to dress like him because he was like, "Ooh, who's your tailor?"
oh my
Like,
goodness, I can't. I love it. But, and Jasmine Crockett is also a hottie.
yes, and AOC, like, the 3 of
Ye
them,
oh,
woo,
absolutely.
okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, like, let's go. I'm ready. But but,
I'm so sorry, I have to make this joke, the one time you actually wanna get fucked by your government.
right?
So sorry. So
Oh my god,
sorry.
that was good. That was good. Um, yeah, so with all this heavy shit and obviously us being unhinged,
Yeah.
yeah, we do wanna talk about, the mental health side of things, and and that way, like, you are aware of some of those individual effects you could feel, or just like noticing with other people, friends and family, like being aware that there's going to be people that feel this impact more than others,
Yeah.
especially if they have service members like that they know that are having to be shipped over to a war they didn't sign up for. And honestly, they're now being told literally by general commanders in the army and Hegseth, that this is a holy war and it is to basically bring Jesus back. Like they are literally trying to cause the rapture to
Oh,
happen. And it's just like, what the fuck?
what the fuck?
Yeah,
What the fuck? And
it's
breaking people's arms over this shit. Did you see that?
dude. I can't watch the video, but I
I
heard about it.
unfortunately I did, and I saw it, and I saw the break, and it was horrifying. And I'm literally replaying it over and over in my mind. For those who don't know, in Congress there was a military member, I believe he was a Marine, who came. I don't know what he was, whether he came in to protest or what exactly. Full uniform, full dress, very respectful, standing, trying to protest the war. And as he was being removed, he was shouting that no one wants to fight for Israel. Scared.
Hmm.
Um, but in removing him, there was a senator, Sleehey, something, I don't know his name, who was allegedly helping to remove him. And on video, he was trying to hold on to the door to still stay and say what he was trying to say. And homeboy pushed him so hard that he broke his arm around the door.
Oof.
Ah. I hated
Blah.
it. I had that. Yeah, yeah. So I have a link to that video if anybody does want to see it for fact checking purposes, but please don't. It's horrifying.
Yeah, don't
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 subject yourself
expose
to that.
yourself. Yeah, if you don't
It's
have
really,
to.
there are some things that
Mhm.
you cannot unsee. And I'm literally like squirming in my chair because just thinking about it.
If anyone is trying to deny that that's real, then yes, send them the video. But
Yeah,
if yeah, otherwise don't watch it.
don't. Mm-mm.
But mental health boot. So some individual effects that some of us may already be feeling would be heightened anxiety, hypervigilance, and doom scrolling fatigue. So
Check,
that can look
check,
like,
check.
yeah. So we all know what doom scrolling is, but we can become fatigued by that to the point where you cannot move and you're finding yourself just scrolling and scrolling, and it's hard to get yourself to stop or to do any other executive functions. Um, and feelings of helplessness or moral injury. I think a lot of us are feeling that way, just feeling like, what can we do? This could also be re-triggering past trauma. Like for a lot of us, I feel like it's bringing up shit from 9/11 specifically, but also just all the other wars we've been in since 9/11 and survivors of violence. Uh, this can be triggering for them as well. Obviously, especially even the survivors of Epstein, because now it's like this war once again is another distraction from the Epstein files. So I
Yeah,
think it's hard for a lot of people.
yeah.
Uh Sleep disruption, you know, just sleep is a struggle already, and so if you're finding yourself struggling with sleep even more recently because of just the tears going on, like go see somebody. And if you have to get a sleep study or something, do it because sleep is so important. And not getting enough of it can really, really, really fuck with you in so many different ways.
Not even just
Um,
mental health, physical health.
yes.
Sleep will mess you up if you aren't getting healthy sleep.
Yeah. And chronic stress responses. So that can be a lot of different things. But essentially, all of this is stressful. Anything related to war is stressful. So anyone that does struggle with chronic stress, this is definitely going to be a re-triggering event.
Yeah.
So we're also going to see community level impacts. So this is going to be we're already seeing it, but
Yeah.
increased polarization and conflict within families or social groups. So again, we're going to see a shift with who's okay with war and who's not okay with war and how it's being handled. There's going to be a lot of division there. Um,
Yeah,
com-
I don't look forward to that conversation with my dad, if we
me-
even ever have it.
I don't either, and I'll get to that in a second as to why. But
Mm,
compassion fatigue among helpers, clinicians, caregivers, aka me, woot.
mhm.
But yeah, doctors, therapists, psychiatrists, nurses, you name it. Anyone that is a helper,
The first
it's
responders
yeah,
are gonna have a real hard time right now because even all of these things that we're talking about, you imagine all that's gonna start unraveling, in my opinion.
oh yeah, yeah, increased 911 calls,
Mhm,
increased, ambulance, all of it. And yeah, it's going to cause a collective grief and anticipatory anxiety, just community level. And a lot of people are not going to feel safe. And there's no more predictability. So, with that uncertainty, it just makes people more on edge and anxious
mhm.
and feel threatened. So, because we already are hearing that there's potential sleeper cell agents that could commit domestic terrorist acts here. That's already going to put all of us on heightened alert to the point where more hate crime is going to increase as well. Because people that see someone from the Middle East, their automatic threat response is going to start going off. And we saw this happen after 9/11. It got very, very bad. And I'm so worried that that's gonna happen again, and it already was because of ICE and because of mass deportations. Like, there was already that hate crime rhetoric that has been just awful to see,
Mhm.
but it's just gonna continue to get worse, especially people from the Middle East. And so I just want our listeners to be mindful of that. If you see something, like if you see someone being racist or mistreating someone because of their skin color, like call that shit out and stop it if you can, or get help to stop it, because watching
As
it and not doing anything, like, bro.
Yeah, and on that note, I actually want to take a moment of self-accountability because I want to make sure that my intent is clear with what I was saying earlier about no one wants to fight for Israel, go figure. We're talking about a holy war. We're talking about, we don't want this war.
Yeah.
Um, I do not mean to come across as anti-Semitic or anything like that because I am sure that there are people in Israel who also disagree with this. I'm very sure. Like, because
Yeah.
look at us, you know? So I just wanted to make that very clear and make sure that I'm holding myself accountable for my own rhetoric because we are not about that life.
Yeah. And I think that it really, that holy war idea, that's why I'm not looking forward to having these conversations with family, because my whole life I've been told it's the end times, and that in the end times it's going to mean more wars, especially involving Israel. And so this unfolding before our eyes right now, like, I just feel like my family's just going to be like, oh, this is what God wants. He warned
Yep.
us about it. And Jesus is coming back, so you better prepare yourself. Like, that's
Oh
the
my
shit
God.
that I'm going to be hearing. So
Same.
it's like, just don't want to have that conversation right now,
Yep.
because and it's just, and two, like the hypocrisy and double standard of, okay, you claim you took out this prime leader because he was torturing people, hurting children, and XYZ. Then we bombed a school.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? And then for all these people that are pro-life, you say abortion is bad, yet here we are still having mass shootings in our schools, our children dying left and right from diseases because our funding has been cut to research cancer and children's diseases and US AIDS as well. And we're seeing the death toll just continue to rise. And I'm like,
Yeah.
if you're pro-life, why don't you care about those things? Why aren't you speaking out against those things? You're only going to speak out when a woman has to make a choice between her and her doctor that ending, you know, I could go into this even more,
Yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
it's the hypocrisy is where it's like, and I feel like with war and what's going on right now, the hypocrisy is going to be even crazier because we've already had pastors Sunday, like there's been videos surfacing from pastors on over the weekend talking about the war and how this is God's holy war, and all this stuff. And this is what was predicted in the Bible. And we can't we can't hate or fight or argue with Trump because Trump was chosen by God and chosen to lead this war. And it's like, are you kidding me right now? That's the shit they're saying.
Yeah. It's just unfathomable. It's inconceivable. That's the second week in a row and we've made that reference. Like,
We're gonna make
but I 100% agree. And it's when we're talking about the mental health impacts and the breaks in family and stuff, let's not negate that even though our families have been this way, it doesn't make it hurt less because literally, like, you told me about David's friend and I wanted so badly to talk to my family about it because they were my, my comfort, my safety, my security for so much of my life, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because of exactly what you said. Because as much as they don't wanna say it, they are in favor of what's happening because to them, it's one step closer to the rapture. And it's like such a selfish, short-sighted view, in my opinion, to take, and I can't even talk to my family about it because all they're gonna say is that, "Oh, they're praying for you." But in their minds, they're like, "Well, it's a sign of the end times. We're getting there. We're almost there." And it's, and it's just that's why we put so much emphasis on being mindful of the people you're talking to on all sides. Because you know what? We are pretty badass bitches up in this podcast, but we also have inner children that we are trying to reparent and comfort. And it's hard.
Yeah. I do think we need to talk about not only preparing ourselves, but to embrace resilience because
Yeah.
our bodies are going to be struggling because trauma shows up in our body. And when we are feeling triggered or threatened, and that fear narrows our window of tolerance, regulation just becomes harder, right? So, with our bodies struggling and registering like this danger in our mind and we're trying to like make sense of all of this, our nervous system is going to go into protection mode. Even if we're just safely at home, we could just be sitting here, but it's like our nervous system can easily get activated because of that trauma that's been in our own past, but now this reoccurring trauma we're seeing in the world and how that's impacting all of us collectively. So our body will store that tension and
Mm.
we will experience, pain and soreness and fatigue and feeling restless and overwhelmed. And our window of tolerance is going to get smaller and smaller, and it will feel hard to manage. So, this is why we need to really work on grounding ourselves. And if you don't have a therapist, get one. And
Please.
you don't need to see them every day, but like schedule an appointment, even just at least one session to see how it goes. And if you
Yeah.
don't vibe with the therapist, get a new one. It's okay to shop around, but
Mhm.
it's so important to talk to somebody about everything that's going on and to just talk about how it's affecting you, or even
Mhm.
to talk about why it's maybe not affecting you as much. Like,
Mm.
are you maybe avoiding it? Things like that. But joining a support group even would be another alternative or an addition. Talking to a group of people that's like minded and just talking and supporting each other and showing up for each other. I mean, that's
Yeah.
community. And more than ever right now, we need that community support.
Yeah.
And so if you start to notice that regulation is taking so much more energy, like if you know those deep breathing skills and you're noticing like this shit isn't enough, like it's not helping me enough, like that's why I'm saying, see somebody, get some help. That's going to be key. And also, if you do need to limit your news intake or take breaks, that's okay.
Mhm.
Or you can schedule like certain times of the week where you look at stuff. That way you're informed, but it's not every day.
Yeah. That's a
So,
good idea.
yeah, and work on that sensory grounding. So that can be, being in nature, standing barefoot on the ground or grass, like feeling that within your body and allowing yourself to just calm yourself. And you can even do that with your pets. So if you have a dog or a cat or horses or really any animal that's a pet, most of them have the ability to help regulate your nervous system. So spend more time with your pets. And like, for instance, I have two cats and they know when I need it, but they will
Yeah.
just lay on me and purr and it immediately calms me. So,
I love that.
and
I'm
there's
getting a new
science.
kitty on Saturday. Sorry, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
So you can practice that with your new kitty because I
Yay!
guarantee it'll help.
She's a
Um,
little floof ball too.
so
Refocus.
like moving around, and I'm not saying you got to go to the gym every day, although I'm sure that would help. Yes, and I'm calling myself out for that. Uh, but any movement. This could be 5 minutes of jumping jacks. It could be going for a short, brisk walk. It could be um, just dancing, putting on some music and just dancing like a weirdo in your living room. Like any type of movement helps. Just get up and do something and move around.
All the
And
better, all the better if you can create something out of your movement because that is also very satisfying for your brain.
yes, yes, if you can connect that movement with creativity, like that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Make up your own dance routine or make some art, like anything, really, anything that tickles your fancy.
Mhm.
um, and again, connect with people. Keep in touch with your friends, even when you're not feeling social, even when
Yeah,
you want to just stay in bed and not talk to anyone, reach out to someone anyways.
yeah,
Talk to your friends about how you're feeling. Co-regulate together. Like that's so so huge right now. And
yeah,
think we all just need somebody we can vent to. And yes, highly recommend therapy, but also you should be able to do that with your friends too. And if you can't, then maybe there's some evaluation or reflection time. Like,
yeah,
hmm, now's the time to like really reflect on who are your closest people, like who is your tribe, who can
yeah.
you go to and depend on and just have be a support in your life. And
Mhm.
obviously, too, focus on what you can control and not what you can't control. I know that's so much easier said than done. I struggle with this a lot. But what we can control is we can volunteer, we can advocate, we can mutual aid, we can donate, we can any small action can add up to large impacts.
Yeah.
If your capacity is baking some stuff for your neighbors, like some cookies, do that. If it's volunteering at a food shelter, do that. Like it can be anything, and all of those little things can really add up to big impacts for people. Like
Yeah.
who knows? Like maybe those cookies will brighten your neighbor's day to the point where like they get out of a deep dark depression.
Yeah.
We don't know like how much help that can really be. So do it. um
Agreed.
and obviously, have these safe discussion spaces. So like if you can't find a support group, make one. Create one where people can talk about their fears without being judged. And you can do it at the library, you can do it online, Discord, like wherever it feels safe for you and
Yep.
the people you want to invite to that said group. I think it's just so powerful to do that right now. And,
Also keep in mind to protect that space once you have it. If someone is disrespecting that space, you need to, unfortunately, and it won't be easy, but you will need to have to remove them from that space.
yeah, snip, snap, cut them out. Um,
Snip, snip, motherfucker.
yeah, at this point with everything going on, like we don't want that. I don't want to use the word negativity because I think that just gets overused a lot, but like just toxic. Like we don't want anyone that's toxic or disrespectful or just not a safe ally, you
Yeah.
know. I think that's the best way to put it, and it's okay to break away from those people. We
Yeah,
give
the
you
people
full
who just
permission.
yes, if they are not in your corner, find another corner. Get rid of them. Just
Hmm.
there's no need to subject yourself to that kind of relationship anymore because there's so many resources that excuse me. There's so many resources that we have available, and it's not worth it. It's not worth the toll it takes on your mental health for the sake of what? People pleasing someone who doesn't care whether they please you back? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Or just, yeah, that reciprocation, like match their energy. If they're
Mhm.
only willing to put in 25%, then you only put in 25%.
Yep.
Unless it's a situation where like they're struggling and they want to put in more with you, but they just can't. That's different.
Mhm.
Um, just keep communicating with that, like, because sometimes people just can't in the moment, but they still have good intentions.
Yeah.
So that's different than what we're talking about. Like we're talking about people that are just they suck.
Yeah.
So
They do
um
exist, in fact.
yes, unfortunately there's a lot of those
Mhm.
people. But also take this time to like learn more about the nervous system and trauma and how that all is intertwined with our daily lives. And then you can share that information with other people because there's just a lot of shame and stigma around trauma and like talking about it.
Yeah.
And that's what we really need to work on because the more we are able to talk about it as a community and just collectively, like that helps us process that. And then we can process that grief too.
Yeah.
So I think just education, that's going to be huge right now, including history too, like educating people on history, because as we're seeing, a lot of people are so unaware of our own history.
Yeah. Yep.
So get out in the community, in the gatherings, the protests, do some art, just connect with
Res
people.
Restore a rocking horse.
Yeah, mean,
Surprisingly fun.
Yeah, like, dude, I love refinishing furniture. It is so satisfying.
Mhm. Just
Yeah.
seeing the new come back out from beneath the old. How beautifully metaphorical.
Oh, it's so relevant.
Yep. What can I say? I'm awesome. No, please don't. Please, no. Ignore that. Just never mind. That was anyways. But no, yes, absolutely. And I think one thing that you said that really resonates with me is that sometimes you have to make yourself do it. Sometimes you really do because it's the best thing for you, even though your brain lies and tells you that it's not. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, shit, I catch myself dissociating sometimes, and I'm like, "Oh, shit, I need to do something, because if I
Mhm.
don't, I'm just gonna sit in this,"
Yep.
and it's so hard to be present then, and I I will have to, like, snap myself out of it and just, like, get up and do something because, yeah, that's what helps me, and I think, for a lot of people, it's just get involved in the way you can
Yep.
and connect and be in your community. We're not saying you have to become this, like, full-time activist, but use your creativity and imagination and find a way to channel your rage and grief into something and just keep being kind.
Yes.
That's
100%.
really the big takeaway here. Just keep being kind because we're in a fucking war.
Seriously. Unbelievable. But that is, I believe, all we have for today.
It is for now.
All
So
right.
thank
For
you,
now.
listeners.
Yes. Thank you for dealing with our heavy and our weird.
Heavy shit.
You get a little taste of everything.
We may be unhinged, but we're here and we're trying. So that's what matters.
Mhm. We are. We are. And we will be here again next Thursday. And in the meantime, may Loki be with you. We love you.
May Loki be with you. Love you.
Bye.